had an opportunity to watch a special preview screening of the movie Money Monster starring George Clooney, Julia Roberts, and Jack O'Connell. And I wanted to do a movie review. So obviously, if you haven't watched this movie, or if you're planning to watch this movie, please turn away. I'm not going to leave any spoilers or anything like that. However, I don't want to ruin the total enjoyment of the film. So if you are planning to watch this, please turn off this video and go watch something else. All right, so overall, I felt that the movie Money Monster was a pretty good film. I especially liked the acting and the portrayal, the way that the human story, the human element of pain and betrayal was, and the seeking of justice was, I felt, well built in terms of the acting and the portrayal. Overall, this is a crime drama. This is a crime suspense drama. So if you're really into that genre of film, I think that you will find this to be very enjoyable. It doesn't go into some of the nuances, however, of financial trading. We've had a lot of movies that are based on Wall Street, and many of them do actually go into the nitty-gritty of trading. So if you're looking for some of those intricate details, you may come away pretty disappointed. The other thing I wanted to point out regarding the overall story of Money Monster is that the build up to the event is it mostly is supported by the acting. The actual storyline, it does require a lot of, I'm just being honest, it does require a lot of suspension of disbelief. It also seems a little simplistic, and I didn't like how some of the details of financial trading were glossed over in order to push the story along. Because for those of us that do know about trading, and I suspect that the audience that Money Monster caters to will know a lot about trading. I think they're going to come away from the film feeling a little bit slighted in terms of how the story developed, because the story development itself, not the character portrayals, but the story development, I felt was a bit too unrealistic. And I mentioned the audience of Money Monster because, quite frankly, I was looking around at the people that were at this preview screening. Mostly Asian people, sprinkling of, white folks, but mostly Asians. So I suspect that this is going to be mostly a college-educated group of people that are watching this film, probably into the financial trading, whether they do it personally or whether they do it professionally. I think you're going to get a lot of industry insiders watching this film. And so you have to keep that in mind when you're judging the film based on the perspective of just somebody who is not at all involved in financial trading. They may come away with it thinking that this is an excellent film, that this was a great suspense film. But for those who are really into the trading, who are experts, or who deal with some level of professional finance, they're gonna come away. The gears will be rolling in their heads as they're watching the film, thinking, I don't know about this, or I don't know about that. So it's one of those films that, in order to appease a broad audience, a lot of intricate details are glossed over. That's not to say that that's a bad thing. That's a major criticism, but I do want to point that out because, again, it's very clear that their audience members are, again, those college-educated whites, Asians, that are probably going to know a lot about financial trading going into this film. So there was, it's a questionable decision there. I felt that the movie, based on that demographic that they were targeting, or that they were attracting, that you should have thrown in a little bit of meat in there to give that film an extra level of intellect. And if they had done that, I feel that rather than give the movie a B or B plus, that movie would have been elevated to an A or an A plus. Compared to the films that have come out in 2016, I would recommend Money Monster because it gives you a sexy version of financial corruption, and there are secondary motifs. Obviously the primary motif is about avarice and greed on Wall Street. Fine, and I feel that it did an okay job there. But there are secondary motifs that I would like to get into. I don't want to go into it now in this video because it will be a major spoiler, I believe. But there are secondary motifs built into the movie Money Monster that I feel gives it a redeeming value. So there is still some intellect there, but you do have to go hunt it down. Overall, again, I think that this was a good movie. I think that especially for a broader audience, that this would be an excellent movie to watch. For those who are into financial trading or those who are professional traders, this may fall a little bit flat, but it's still reasonably worth your time to watch the film.